Hello, welcome to Coffee Talk with Marie, Good Dog Scanlon. I am sorry to disappoint you. Who am I kidding? Nobody's disappointed. I'm back. I knew you guys were waiting for me to come back. I didn't think he was going to let me come back because of the humiliation last time. But he did. Here I am. But this time he gave me a script I have to follow because he doesn't want me to go off script again. So it's lame. But anyway, happy to be here. We're going to have a great show.
Why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Marie. I'm Marie, Good Dog Scanlon. You hush. You're not on camera right now. I am. Yeah, it's going to be a good show today, mostly because I'm hosting, and also because we have Terry Sloan here, who is a director extraordinaire. There's another guest. I forget his name sometimes, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, I wanted to tell a little story about my dad and my husband. So Ted and I just celebrated our 18th wedding anniversary, and we were leaving the restaurant, and I look over and Ted's crying, and I was like, oh, honey, that's so sweet. And he was like, well, and I said, well, you know, what's going on? Why are you crying? And he said, well, I just realized that when I asked your dad, or when we were dating, your dad threatened me and said if I didn't marry you, he was going to throw me in jail for 18 years, and I would have been out and free by now. Just kidding. He loves me very much, and he married me despite my dad's threats. And I married him because he was the only one that stood up to my dad and wasn't scared of his threats. And I've been taking notes from him ever since. So there you go. Anyway, I apologize that you guys have to listen to all my dad's jokes, but I do not feel sorry for you because I have been listening to them for all of 44 years, and he mostly repeats them. So anyway, we're going to have a great show for you today. We've got Terry Sloan and some other guy here to talk about some shows they're directing. And I know you're excited, and I'm excited because I'm hosting. Thank you. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Coffee Talk with Marie, Good Dog Scanlon. I nicknamed myself Good Dog because he's Mad Dog, and I'm good, and he's mad. So I want to welcome my guests today, Terry Sloan and Mike Mad Dog Magnotti. They are here to talk about the two shows that we have coming up at Music Theater of Wenatchee and their auditions. And so yeah, Terry, will you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your theater history and background?
Sure, I'm Terry Sloan, and I want to thank you for having me on, and thank Music Theater of Wenatchee for endorsing my directorship. And I'm going to direct a play the last weekend in January, first week in February, called An Inspector Calls.
Ooh, sounds good.
And there are 7 actors. It was written in 1945, but it's a timeless story, and I'm very excited.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, okay. And Mr. I'm sorry, what was your name?
Mike, Mad Dog Magnotti.
Mike.
That's
okay.
me. Yes.
Mike.
Okay.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your theater background?
My theater background. Well, I have been acting since high school. Okay. Learned to act. I had a pretty good, drama teacher. As a drama teacher, he was pretty good. Learned a lot through improvisation. Okay. Did a lot of improvisational theater, that type of thing. When I moved out here to Wenatchee, I was with a church, and we did a lot of pretty good church drama. Mm-hmm. I mean, and musicals. It wasn't sappy. We really was pretty good original stuff. Okay, but in the 80s, early 80s, I started with Music Theater of Wenatchee. I never wanted to sing. Hated the thought of singing in public. So I called up Joan Fadden, who was directing South Pacific then, and I got a part. And since then, I've been involved with Music Theater, done some stuff with the high school. Music Theater is a great group. Very much appreciate them allowing me to express what artistic ability I do have. And I do want to say that we are auditioning for a show called A Twisted Christmas Carol. Auditions will be this Wednesday and Thursday night, okay, the 12th and 13th, all right? They will be at the Riverside Playhouse. We're asking you to get there about 6:30 because auditions will start about 7. But my show is basically the Dickens Christmas Carol story with a twist. It involves a disgruntled Texas barbecue joint owner okay, who goes out and rolls his pickup, goes into a coma, etc., etc. But it's funny. There are 5 people, 3 men, 2 women, very interesting, fun characters. It's going to be a fun show to be involved in. And I'm not so much interested in the ages, because people have said, am I too old? I said, no, I'm interested in the dynamic and the chemistry between the actors involved and how well they fit into what I want to see the characters portray than I am about ages. So ages really isn't all that important. But again, auditions that Terry and I will be doing jointly will be this Wednesday and Thursday night at the Riverside Playhouse starting at 6:30. So.
Yeah, that's something you didn't say at first, and please excuse him. I asked him one question and then he answered several. So I just asked you to tell me about your theater background, and I was gonna get to the show description, but that's okay. He already told you his show description. So.
I can talk about it more.
Wait, I didn't talk about my theater background.
Yeah,
I didn't answer your question.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I forgive you for everything.
See, that's why I filled in a little bit, okay?
Thank you. I've been doing
us your
community
background.
theater since the 80s. I, too, was cast by Joan Fadden.
Ah, okay. Which show was
in
that?
Man of La Mancha.
So
all
were
right.
you a baby
Okay.
then?
Yeah, they made room for me.
Yeah.
And let's see, what else was I in? Man of La Mancha and something. Oh, Paint Your Wagon.
Okay, all right.
Paint
yeah.
Your Wagon, yeah. So, but most of my community theater has been with Mission Creek Players until recently. Mission Creek Players did 4 great shows at the Performing Arts Center.
Yeah, you directed, what was that show with the salesman?
Well, I produced that.
Oh, you produced that, okay.
That was Glengarry Glen Ross.
Glen Ross.
But
right.
I directed August Osage County.
That's right, yeah.
But I've also directed for music theater because Mary Ellen Kirby wrote a little play called Simple Treasures, and I directed at the music theater. Theater then at the Riverside. So
Very cool.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us about your show in Inspector Calls?
She did a little bit already.
No, I want to tell a little bit more, but I will say this, though. When she sent me the script and I read it, my email back to her was, I hate you. Because I couldn't try out for it. It's a good play with really good characters, but I would be interested to know a little bit more about it.
You would be a perfect Mr. Berlin.
Oh, well, I don't know if that's a compliment.
Listen to this. 7 characters. This play was written in 1945, but it was reprised in the 90s and won a Tony for the best reprised.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
So,
That's cool.
It's a timeless story, as I've said. It's about, it takes place in 1912. Edwardian, very wealthy manufacturing family who are very entitled and not very nice people.
You're right, they're not.
And there's no singing, no dancing, maybe a few laughs, but it's an introspective script. I don't want to give it away too much, but they are celebrating the engagement of their daughter, and an inspector calls. And
it is an engaging story. I mean, it really it pulls you in. The characters are very interesting. Like I say, I hate you for doing it when I can't audition for it. But yeah, it's going to be a good show. So.
Great. Well, thank you so much for those little synopsises. I think what's exciting is that music theater has a really full season this year. We have our so we have a fall show coming up in October, and then we have the Christmas show, A Twister Christmas Carol, in December, and then we'll have an Inspector Calls.
A drama, downer drama.
Yes.
Yeah.
In
Downer drama.
Downer drama. Can't wait to see it.
Right.
No, it should be good. So yeah, a comedy and then a drama in January, and then we'll have our spring Apple Blossom musical also. So we have a very full season this year at Music Theater, which is really exciting.
What is the Apple Blossom show going to be? I can't remember.
It's going to be Grease.
That's right, Grease. Okay,
Grease,
all right.
yes.
And I do want to say the fall show, Haley Tallman is doing the last 5 years.
Yes.
That she just auditioned for and just finished casting. So
Yep.
it was good.
Yeah.
Good. So.
All right. So do we need to take a break now?
You know, we probably should take a break, and then, I got an idea about what we should talk about when we come back. But it's your show after all.
my show.
So, okay.
But I'll take input. So we'll be right back after this break. Thank you. Welcome back. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. We just have to point out, Terry noticed this. You were wrong. Auditions are not the 12th and 13th. They are the 13th and 14th.
Oh, Wednesday and Thursday. That's right. Okay. Well, yeah, auditions will be this Wednesday and Thursday, the 13th and 14th at the Riverside Playhouse starting at 6:30. Did I get that part right?
Yes.
Okay.
So it'll be the Riverside Playhouse, which is kind of back behind the PUD. If you don't know where that is, you can feel free to go on our website and email somebody to find out more information. But 6:30 show up. Auditions will start at 7 Wednesday and Thursday.
Okay, cool.
Correct.
And this is kind of an experiment for me because we're auditioning 2 plays.
Yes.
And we're each looking for a little different characters.
Yeah, they are very different.
And I'm looking for an ensemble like you. Mm-hmm. Ages won't matter so much, except that the parents need to look older than the kids. Mm-hmm. And actually, I'd like a rather portly.
For which character? The one you said I would be good at.
Rather portly. Dad,
I'm not portly. I'm big boned.
Mr. and Mrs. Burling need to be. Could be. We'll see who shows up.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So and. So we're going to be arguing over.
Yeah, who gets who?
Right.
So yeah, all right, okay.
But you come in, you fill out your form, you say what part you'd like to audition for.
Right.
And if you'll take any part.
Right.
And if you don't get a part, it has nothing to do with your talent.
Yeah.
It's.
Yeah, you know, this is what is challenging, is that we want good people trying out, but we can't cast everybody.
Right.
So sometimes it's a challenge for us, and I like to call the people myself and tell them, some people make the producer do that, but I kind of feel that, Marie's my producer, okay? I kind of feel that I should call the people and say, hey, we're sorry, we went in a different direction, but we do want good people trying out. And auditions can be stressful. You know, I always feel like I'm bearing my soul in front of very talented people coming up with less than whatever they are. But we understand how stressful and challenging it can be to audition. But we do encourage you to come, okay?
And we'll make it as fun as we can.
Yeah, we want you to have fun doing
Right.
it, because it can be fun. So.
Right. This is volunteering your time.
Yeah.
6 weeks of your time.
Yeah, at least that. So.
For rehearsals. Mm-hmm. So we appreciate.
Yeah.
I like to tell people and encourage people to audition, even if they don't think there's a part for them or they're not sure they're right for a part. I think auditioning is like an acting experience in and of itself.
It's
a great way to like stretch and practice and hone some skills in front of people. So I encourage anybody who's even just interested in theater, because sometimes you can audition and maybe you don't get a part, but you could help backstage. There's so many things to do in the theater and during a show, and we always need
we more than
volunteers.
welcome new people all the time. So,
Yeah.
So I think that Terry and I are going to pretty much do it the same way. It's going to be cold reading. Some people have asked me specifically for audition materials, and I've said no, we don't want to do that. But we call you up, we have you read, we give you the script. Occasionally, we will give you a little bit of direction to see how well you respond to that type of thing. I'm not going to ask for it at auditions, but all my characters have to talk with a Texas accent once we do the play. And I don't care if it's a good Texas accent or a bad Texas accent, because it's a comedy. You can get away with doing a bad Texas accent. And I don't even know if this is a Texas accent. But like I said, I want you to be able to do that by the time the show is on stage.
Well, now I'm mad because I can't audition. I was asked if the actors needed to have a British accent, and I said no, not unless all 7 of you could consistently
right.
do your British accent.
And they're going to have to convince you that they can.
Right,
Yeah.
because you have to do it through the whole play. You can't
Yeah.
go in and out of it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
otherwise, it's okay. The way
Yeah.
we speak is okay.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I've done a couple accents. Texas was one. I talked New York one time, the show, when we were in 12 Angry Men. Remember? I kind of talked like a New Yorker a little bit, but then
I mean, you
again.
have a little experience with that. So.
Oh, but you want to tell about what the different characters are? Just give a little bit of information about
Okay. And then
other than being portly. I mean, you need more than just being portly for this show, but it would help, so.
Mr. and Mrs. Burling are a wealthy, entitled couple. They're celebrating the engagement of their daughter to a fiance who could, if the two married, could advance the families together. And then they have the younger brother who drinks too much. And
I could play that part too, baby.
and a small part for a maid, and then the inspector.
Okay.
And
all right.
I'd like him to be tall and imposing.
Oh, okay, all right.
But we'll see. We'll see.
Did you also say that the inspector could be either gender?
I really would like male.
Male, okay.
I would like male. It has been cast with a female,
Okay.
but I think for 1912, I'm going to try and stick to the time period.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the people I'm looking for, of course, we've got the disgruntled Texas barbecue joint owner, and the real challenge for this character is to be likable. Okay, I don't want people to dislike this guy, so he's got to be like me, crabby but very lovable, So, and his wife, very sweet woman, very positive, long-suffering, that type of thing, got a good sense of humor. There's a character named Bubba, and that should tell you quite a bit about who Bubba is, okay? And then there's Daisy Newsom. Daisy is again, cast as a young person, but doesn't necessarily have to be young. She's a person who used to be a waitress for them, wants to come back as a short order cook. And then there is Hank. And Hank is the former business partner of Buford, who Buford doesn't like for a number of reasons. But he comes back and he plays all 3 of the ghosts, past, present, and future. And there's even a comment about that, about why he's doing all 3 of them. And they say, well, we have budget problems or something like that. But the show is really funny, got a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of different good nuances that they play off things from Dickens' Christmas Carol. And it's just you're going to have a lot of fun if you're in this show. It's going to be a fun show. And that's what I'm going to encourage the actors. Have fun. Have fun with your characters. Talk with the Southern accent, Texas accent, and this play is going to be good. It's going to be really good. So.
I wanted to say something about accents, too. I did do an accent once in a play, and I got a recording of somebody teaching how to speak in a British accent, and that was super helpful. So there are resources out there to help you with accents. And also, learning an accent for a play is a lot easier than just speaking in an accent. We think, I can't speak in a British accent if I'm just talking.
Right.
But when you learn a play, you're learning the lines, so you just have to know how to say those words, and then that's it. It's actually a lot easier than it sounds.
So, but it's going to be, this show's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll start rehearsals right away. We will audition on Wednesday, Thursday.
13th and 14th.
Okay, my show will do the first reading the following Monday, and the rehearsals will be Monday to Thursday, 6:30 to probably 8:30 or 9, depending. The show is blocked already, so we'll get a lot of that done. And one thing I will say to the people auditioning, I really push you to learn your lines, okay? Because you can't act until you know your lines. And also, knowing your lines gives you more of an ability to develop your character than just struggling to remember all the other stuff you have to do. So I will push you on that, okay?
I wanted to ask you a question about your characters, though.
Yeah.
You mentioned there's a maid in your character that's a smaller part. Are there any smaller parts in yours? For maybe somebody who just...
First of all, there are no small parts. There are only small actors.
Sometimes people want to try it out,
Right, no.
but they're scared of the line load.
No. If you're casting this play, you will have a significant line load.
Okay.
Everyone's on stage
Every
quite a bit.
character,
Yeah. But it's a lot of good dialogue, though, so the stuff meshes. The last show I was in, it was kind of difficult because it wasn't. I was talking a lot, and a lot of stuff didn't really connect from one character to another, and so it was it's kind of a struggle, particularly for an old guy like me. But this, there is, these are meaty parts, all 5 of them. So,
In my play as well.
yeah, yes,
A lot
it's
of
true.
line load. The actors are on stage all the time.
Yeah, that's right, they are.
They're on stage all the time, and so. And we'll audition, in September, but our rehearsals won't start until November, December, working around the holidays, and then we'll hit it hard the 1st of January.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, and this, there's going to be a few breaks. We're taking Thanksgiving into consideration, and performances for my show will be the last week in November, first 2 weeks of December, which I'm really thinking that a Christmas show is going to do very well. So it's going to be fun. I'm really, really looking forward to it. So.
All right.
Okay, well, maybe we should take a break.
Okay, let's take another break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm Marie Good Dog Scanlon, and I'm here with Terry Sloan and Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, my guest. I finally learned his name. Anyway, we just want to, again, I wanted to say Music Theater has this really busy schedule coming up. A lot of times the shows that Music Theater does are musicals that contain singing and dancing. These 2 shows are both straight plays.
There is one song in my show, though.
Okay.
Okay.
It's considered a straight play.
Yeah, oh,
which,
definitely.
Yeah, which I think is really exciting because we have a lot of actors out there who are a little bit nervous about the singing and dancing and would prefer to do straight plays. So I encourage you to come out to auditions for these 2 plays. The auditions will be together this Wednesday and Thursday, the 13th and 14th at 6:30 at the Riverside Playhouse. Show up at 6:30, you'll fill out a form. 7 o'clock, the auditions will start. No need to be, everybody gets nervous, but no need to be scared. These 2 friendly people will be there helping you. So.
And for more information, the website is
Yes.
mtow.org.
Yes.
And they can always email me, maddog@nwi.net. Be happy to give you more information. But hope to see you there. We really do. So.
Yeah. All right.
Not a bad job today, Marie. You did pretty good.
you.
Good.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thanks for allowing me to come back.
Yeah, that was my
I'll
pleasure.
be back again and do a better show. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so Street Talk and Other Stuff. Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, Marie Good Dog Scanlon, and Terry Sloan. Thanks for tuning in. You have a great day. We will see you next week. Bye-bye.